All right, welcome back to my community on Afrocentric Television, channel 15.8. Know this is a show that brings about what we as Africans in diaspora do in the United States, especially in Houston. But today, joining us is one of our very own doing great things representing Africa and Nigeria as a country in the Midwestern part of the United States. With us today is Honorable Akindele Akin. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
So, I know I've been following you for so long now.
Oh, wow.
For so long. And I just admire your work and everything you do to inspire other Africans and African communities in the United States. And you're so involved. I don't know how you do it still.
I don't know.
But I know you do great things. Can you tell us a little bit, give us a little bit of your background? Because I know your accent does not, if you talk to a typical African, they'll be like, no, this is not an African, this is an American. But please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Born and raised in the city of Detroit, Michigan. My father is from Ondo State in Nigeria.
Oh, so we're probably cousins.
We may be cousins. He came to the United States in 1969. He was going to school here, met my mom. Mom's an African American, so that's where the American part comes in.
Got you.
And he went back to Nigeria in 1980. It was 1980 when he went back to Nigeria. Mom stayed here, and I was raised here. But there's 6 of us all together in terms of my siblings. There are 6 of us. I have 3 sisters in Nigeria. I have 1 sister in Ghana and 1 brother in the UK.
You probably go global already.
We are going global. I practice what I preach.
I know, right?
So I'm a 20-year veteran in education, primarily K-12. Currently, I work at a community college in Detroit, Michigan as an academic advisor, and I'm also a career coach. And so I take that passion of education very seriously because I've learned over a period of time through my professional and personal careers that education is a key to freedom, as the late Nelson Mandela would say. And it's very important to educate our community about the things that are out here for them to invest in and really take advantage of. So I really take my job very seriously.
They say knowledge is power.
Absolutely.
Information is key.
Is key.
So tell me, I know you are the president and CEO of Global African Business Association. That's
correct.
Gaba.
That's
right?
correct.
So tell us a little bit about Gaba, and
Sure.
then because I'll still come back to you being the vice president of NAPAC, which is the Nigerian American Public Affairs Committee, right?
Well, they actually, Gaba started off as NABA, which is National African Business Association, in 2014. Actually, that organization, believe it or not, started right here in Houston when I used to live here in Houston, and I reconnected with an old friend of mine, Rariana Make, on the phone. I was staying right here in Southwest Houston. She was still in Michigan, and we decided and kind of talked about some ideas that we could really empower African people in terms of business development. And so we came up with the concept of NABA. And actually, it was 2013. 2014, we officially launched and started pulling the team together. And really, what it is, is a business education support system. We go around educating people about the business services that are out here, grant writing, matchmaking, teaching people how to write grants, teaching people about business visas and things like that.
Isn't one coming out in Atlanta soon? I think it's on the 20-something in Atlanta, teaching people how to write grants.
Yes, things of that nature, and just really customer service.
That's
is big.
Very, very, very. It's been something we've been dealing with in the last few weeks on our show. Customer service in the African community, in our businesses especially.
And so we started that, and then what we started realizing was we had more of a global imprint. We started adding our global ambassadors to the scheme of things through Gaba, and that's how we evolved from NABA to Gaba. We say, you know what, we need to be more global about our approach to solutions, and that's who we are now. We have a very strong network of experts in Gaba that can assist African businesses on any endeavor, whether that's customer service, whether that's real estate, whether that's education, whether you want to start your own school, whether you want to do imports and exports, whether you want, even if you want to understand how the visa system works in the United States,
so
we can do that.
The organization kind of guide and help.
That is correct.
Them. Does that come with a fee?
It always comes with a fee. However, if you talk to me, we can always negotiate membership things. But it always comes with a fee, and the reason for that is because we got to have money to provide the services to you.
That's right.
So, but we're not about money. We're about resources, and I say that publicly to your audience because I want your audience to understand what is really going on out here. Our businesses as Africans is strong enough to create communities. That's what we do in the city of Inkster. Back in Inkster, Michigan, where our organization is based internationally, is that our goal is to use African-based businesses from the continent to establish themselves in the U.S. to build a tax base for young entrepreneurs, for neighborhood revitalization, for community development. How come we can't use our own businesses from the continent? Places like Nigeria, how come we don't have a GT Bank in the United States? How come we don't have a Tantalizers in our community? How come we don't have a Chicken Republic franchise?
But they do take Domino's to Nigeria. How come we don't have those over here?
That's my point exactly. And so we educate people about things, on why these things are necessary. How come our community, we educate our people about the EB5 visa, investor visa.
The program.
And that's something we're working on in Gaba as we speak with the regional center that we're planning on trying to put together so we can bring a network of investors from the continent here to the United States to help revitalize our local communities.
So tax is a big deal. Customer service is a big deal. Understanding how businesses work in the United States is a big deal. Mm-hmm. However, there are lots of Africans, and when we come here, we tend to go to school. We tend to once we finish, we work with one of the best companies.
Sure.
And then a lot of us also start our own businesses.
That's correct.
And this is a service towards guiding people to achieving what they need to achieve in the United States. That is what this organization is about.
Absolutely.
So I know it's about Global African Business Association, right? But who can join? Who can be a member?
We encourage business owners to be a member, to receive the support and the network they need. Mm-hmm. We encourage nonprofit organizations. We encourage churches. Churches, faith-based, plays a huge role in business development in our community.
They sure do.
Unfortunately, a lot of our churches don't understand the power of a community development corporation being established as a nonprofit to provide business services to the community in which they're trying to service. And sometimes, in many cases, individuals can join Gaba, and the reason why individuals can join Gaba, they may not own a business yet, but they're curious about how to do imports, exports. They're curious about the business education end of Gaba, so they can join as well.
Typically, you have to be curious. Mm-hmm. You have to be thirsty for. There has to be that thirst for knowledge.
That's
for
correct.
you to want to be a part of this. I know also that you were a part of NAPAC,
yes,
the Nigerian American Public Affairs Committee.
That's right.
You are the vice president of that organization as well. Tell us a brief of what that organization is about and what your role.
Nigerian American Public Affairs Committee. We are a public affairs committee. We're a PAC that educates Nigerian Americans about the political process. As I'm the vice president of NAPAC, the president of NAPAC also sits on our Gaba board of directors.
Nice.
And of course, I'm the vice president of NAPAC nationally. I do a lot of political education with our community. I have a background in training candidates to run for office, so it fits perfectly what NAPAC.
I've seen your work. So.
Yeah, and so it fits perfectly for what we're trying to do. And kind of NAPAC and the relationship between NAPAC and Gaba. NAPAC is more of our political arm of Gaba. We focus on the business end. NAPAC focuses on the political end, and then we have that relationship going. And so our job is to recruit and train and run candidates of Nigerian descent for office right here in the United States and become stakeholders within the United States. We have a stake in this in terms of political and public policies that are being created. Oftentimes, we talk about, just for 30 seconds, immigration. Oftentimes, when we talk about immigration, we hear about the Hispanic community and the Asian community, but we never hear the African community. We never hear about what Nigerians are going through with immigration, and so
that's I think the avenue that the organization is a great resource for that.
Right. And so we educate, we do political education, we do things like that. We also host a One Voice reception. Hopefully, Afrocentric Television be part of that.
Please send us an invite.
We sure will.
We'll definitely be a part of it.
So our One Voice reception, you'll love it. The One Voice reception is held during the Congressional Black Caucus annual legislative conference every September. This year it's going to be September 12th at 6:00 in D.C. We'll send you guys an invite,
please.
And we like to showcase our Congress people who have a great interest in helping and empowering our African and Nigerian communities.
Beautiful. So, may I ask what regions the organizations cover? I know the Global African Business is global.
Yes.
But the Nigerian American Public Affairs Committee is that locally in Michigan or
no? So we're also national. However, we have a strong chapter in California, Georgia, and New Jersey currently, and then we have other chapters that we're trying to build up.
Something got to happen in Houston, man. We have the most diverse.
Come on now. Our president and I. Of NAPAC, me and him have been discussing this for at least 2 years about how we're going to launch NAPAC Texas. We want to be very strategic. We definitely want a presence here in Houston. It's just a matter of when and how do we bring those resources together.
Hey, we're here to support. We're here. We would love to be a part of it. Just let us know what the plans are, and we can even guide as to who. Okay. It's just what we do at Afrocentric Television.
Sure.
We are about Africans in diaspora.
Absolutely.
And doing positive things and encouraging people. Getting them to maximize their potential in the United States. So. Briefly, I know this is probably not a part of what we need to talk about, but briefly I want to talk about the African Union Mission. I know you are the statewide director for that in the Michigan some district area in Michigan.
So the ambassador, Quile, who's going around the country speaking about uniting the diaspora.
And we need to talk to you so as to help us bring her down here. We need to have a talk with her. People need to know what this is about.
Not a problem. I can make that happen. Please. So we invited her. Gaba invited her to Michigan State University a few weeks ago, and we invited her to speak. I've met her a couple of years ago in Detroit and just been following her activity for the last couple of years. But it had to be Providence because we invited her to speak at Michigan State University, our organization, along with the African Studies Center. And she spoke, and, before she even got up and spoke to the crowd, she says, hey, I want to establish a African Union 6-region diaspora network. I just need somebody to lead it. So when she made the call, I said I'll take on that role because it fit perfectly into the Gaba plan of what we're already doing. So we've already had our first meeting last week among a small group of us, and then we're going to actually start extending that to other African and Caribbean-based organizations as we put together the framework and kind of move that process along. The primary focus of that organization is to target key sectors, which is energy, education, commerce and trade, things of that nature, and kind of link those things regionally and even statewide, educating our politicians, educating our community about why these things are necessary.
That would be great.
And that's what we're doing. And I took on that role because it fit right into the Gaba plan. That's what we're already doing. So Gaba it plays a huge role in the AU's mission.
I know you left Houston for Michigan. I understand you were born in Michigan, but you moved to Houston.
That's right.
Yeah, but now you're back in Michigan.
That's correct.
So what brought you back down to Houston?
So my senior vice president, who was interviewed on this show, Akin, had a fashion show, and the Uche exclusive fashion show and book signing event. I told her before she really started putting together, I said, we're going to make this a Gaba event. And so Global African Business Association sponsored the event.
Oh, that's thoughtful.
Of course, she asked me to come down and speak on behalf of Gaba. I did that. She's such a phenomenal person in
Oh,
our
I
organization.
interviewed her,
We
and
saw
I
it.
mean,
We
it was
watched it.
beautiful. She's brilliant.
Yes, and she's such a phenomenal player in Gaba here in Houston for us. I had
See,
no
you
choice.
already have somebody here. That
Oh,
you
I
can
have.
accuse of.
Well, I have her, and then I have my global ambassador here in Houston, Cecile Mingle, who is the CEO of Go Blue for Clean Water. I also came and visit her. She just launched her new travel business, the Mercer Group.
She needs to come here. People need to know about that.
And I'm sending my Gaba folks down here. So.
All of them, all of them. Come on, people need to know about our business and the things we're doing positively.
Absolutely.
In Houston, in the Texas area, in the United States as a whole.
So we don't want to just limit it to Houston with this broadcast, this network. We also want to bring you guys to Michigan. And
we need to talk about that, and that needs to happen. That needs to happen soon too.
Absolutely.
We need to shine more light on the positive things we're doing in America, man.
Absolutely.
It's a whole lot of us, and there's too many things going on social media, on even the news media about Africans. They speak negatively about Africans. But we don't do nothing but do great things.
Well, we have to do more. We have to do more than
only to find out about 5%.
Right.
Are represented in those fraudulent negative acts.
Let me just say this publicly. We have to do more than prayer and partying.
That's right.
And we have to
that is correct.
And we have to be active in our respective communities if we want to make change. If you want to change Nigeria, it starts here on U.S. soil. If you want to change Kenya or Cote d'Ivoire, it starts on U.S. soil. And the reason I'm saying that is because we have the tools and resources to transform our homes. But it starts, that conversation and those strategy sessions start here, and that's why Gaba is based here.
People are afraid of going back, though. Despite I understand what you're saying, but people are still afraid of going back.
Absolutely.
For you to build, there has to be a solid foundation, right? So, and that foundation needs to be from home.
That's right.
Be it Kenya, be it Cameroon, be it Ethiopia, Nigeria, wherever, right, or Ghana. The foundation needs to be laid. However, we have brought some organizations here on our show that have talked about how they would help individuals, even corporations and organizations that wants to establish in Africa. That will help them bridge that gap.
That's correct.
And I'm sure one of the things Gaba and is it Capac or NAPAC that is doing is to help guide people in the right direction.
Oh, absolutely. That's what we do, and we've been doing that successfully for quite some time now. Even in the city of Inkster, where we're based at, and I just want to talk a little bit about Inkster. 6 square miles, 24,000 residents. Gaba has a presence on the Inkster Library Board, where I serve as its president. We're in the process of building a brand new library in the city of Inkster under my leadership. A library has never been built in the city of Inkster. So for us to do this is historic in itself.
That's huge. I'm
the chair of the Inkster Economic Growth Corporation. That's our Downtown Development Authority and our TIFA boards. We try to funnel economic development and incentives for people in the city of Inkster and those Africans who want to invest in the city of Inkster. So we play a real prominent role in that small city outside Detroit. And we picked Inkster because we realized that we can fly under the radar, do what we need to do to attract new African immigrants into the city who wants to set up small businesses and neighborhood reinforcement to move this process forward. So it's very important that we have dialogue and strategy sessions and execution methods to make these things work.
So let us know when you're going to be running for the mayor of Inkster.
Well, there's an election going on right now. Let me just say this. There's an election going on right now that the mayor's seat is up, city council seat is up, even the library board seat is up. And let me just say this, though. It's not about running for mayor or city council. It's about a bigger plan. And that bigger plan, my friend, is understanding how to link the wealth between sub-Saharan Africa and here in the United States. I don't have to be elected to do that. I have a global ambassador in Nigeria that is absolutely phenomenal, working with the Abuja Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and she has opened the doors and the floodgates for us to come and invest and do that two-way exchange. I love doing work like that as opposed to me being a mayor of a city where I have to answer to citizens about issues that I feel that we can solve our own things.
Right, I understood. Well, thank you so much for coming on our show.
You're very welcome.
Appreciate you. We hope to see more of you
You
very,
will.
very soon.
You will.
And then don't forget to send all the Gaba people our way. Let's talk about what we need to do
Absolutely.
to change our stories in the United States.
Absolutely.
Right?
We will.
Thank you so much.
You got it, my
Akindele.
brother. And keep
It's
following
always a
me.
pleasure
Yep.
seeing you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, you heard it, and we will be right back.